Good morning and welcome to Saturday Math. My name is Jonalee Zupanzik, better known as Jay-Z. Jay-Z in the house. Funny story, I was meeting with a new principal yesterday on Zoom. It's a previous client, but it's a new principal at that school. And she was afraid she was going to say my name wrong because I guess she had been talking to people about me and she was saying Johnny Lee. Johnny Lee. She's kind of from like Southern Ohio. So now the whole staff is making fun of her. And I know when I actually walk in the building now, they're going to be like, Joni Lee is here. Joni Lee. Let's go, girl. But if any of you know me, you know that I will eat that up. So just funny story. But my name is Jonna Lee, Jay Z, Mrs. Z. I pretty much respond to anything, including crazy math lady. So Saturday math, if you are brand new today, yeah,
That
it
was
is a
me.
good
That was
sign
me,
that people
wasn't
make
it?
fun of me. There is
That,
no short of making fun of me during the week. Like, I think now that is the prime goal for most people I work with. I'm just saying. So,
but but crazy math lady, that was me.
that was you.
That was me.
Love it. Love it. So, if you are new to us, like if this is your first session today, don't be afraid. Okay? Don't be afraid. It's okay. You're here and it's okay. Um, We do a lot on Saturday math. The main focus is improving number sense and why students don't have number sense or have a weak version of number sense. And every theme on Saturday math kind of boils down to that. Everything that I talk about boils down to improving number sense. Each session, though, has their own special theme. And today's theme are all the mistakes we're making. Now, mistakes aren't bad because mistakes are made unintentionally. Unintentionally. So there are mistakes that are made, and it is okay. However, the flip side of that is Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. And if you continue doing the items on this list after you know better, they are no longer mistakes. So if you're new here today, there's going to be a lot coming at you today, but just understand that we do this every month for 90 minutes. It is recorded, whether it's public or private. And we welcome all new people because we cannot do this alone. It is a mathematical movement that is a complete paradigm shift. The way that we deliver instruction to improve number sense and increase math achievement must be oftentimes the complete opposite of what we're currently doing. And that's why we're not seeing the needle move in education in the States. So I'm going to be very direct. I don't apologize for it. You're going to disagree with a lot of what I say. You're allowed to disagree with me. You're allowed to tell me. So if you're brand new here today, along the way, I'm going to be giving you some of these intro foundational statements. But then I'm going to go off on lots of different tangents. I'm going to lose you. And it's okay. Just ignore that. And then I'll reel it back in. So just kind of get used to, I want to prepare you for that because this is going to be a session unlike anything you've ever experienced before. So I just like to put you in the right mindset. Don't be afraid and don't let that scare you away. We do this every month. Come every month. Give it 4 or 5 times before you make a decision on whether or not you like this or whether or not it's helping you. Because today alone, one and done, is not going to give you the right answer to that. I'm warning everybody. But if you are new here today, absolutely welcome. We are so thrilled to have you. We do have some people here today that I do want to point out. Krista Ewing, give us a wave. Krista Ewing is one of our certified coaches, Minds on Math Achievement Formula certified coach, and she has been implementing now for at least a dozen years. Krista teaches sixth grade math in a very challenging environment, very challenging environment, supposedly suburban, but very, very urban inner city, especially at her building. So, Krista is a great resource. Krista is always here. Her sidekick, Natalie, is almost always here. So Natalie is another one. She's not here today, but Natalie is another achievement formula, Minds on Math certified coach. Great story. Natalie, about 6 years ago ish, was Krista's student teacher and learn from the best. So Natalie has a complete advantage over all of us. Natalie began her career of teaching, eliminating many of these mistakes that I'm going to share today because she was Krista's student teacher. So Natalie already started teaching her first year at an elevated level. So when Natalie talks, you're going to be like, there's no way she's only taught 6 years. Yeah, she has, but she's a complete veteran and she is a certified coach of ours also. So, Natalie, shout out to you when you watch this recording. She rarely misses, but when she does, she's always on top of the recording. So, Natalie, we love you. Amy Garrison is another. Oh, and Natalie also ended up in the same district that Krista teaches in, not the same school, but the same district. Amy Garrison is another one of our certified coaches. She could not be here today. She let me know she is headed to a game, something, something. I half read it. I'm going to be honest, Amy. I half read it. I went on to something else. I just noted in my head, oh, she's not going to be here. She has something to do. I need to make sure she gets the recording. So she is somewhere, and I know she was riding with her dad. Whatever, whatever. You don't care. I don't know why I'm telling you this. The point is, Amy Garrison is a full-time first grade teacher. First grade teacher. She is definitely a veteran teacher. She's been around for a long time. She teaches first grade. She has mastered mathematics at first grade, at the first grade level, and she is a great resource. Also, another Minds on Math Achievement Formula certified coach. I want to introduce Christy Flynn. Christy Flynn, give us a wave. This is a fun story. Hey, nobody jump off. This, I don't just tell stories the whole time, but because this is going out to the public, I want to kind of name people. I want to give people a background of our team. I want to give people a background of kind of the stories that led us to where we are. And I think this is really important today. So I want to spend some time on it. So we'll actually get started with content in about 7 minutes. So, I mean, if you want to go, grab a bite, another cup of coffee, and I'm gonna tell some stories here for about 7 minutes, and then we'll jump into some real good content here. I need to get a drink. Got my iced tea today. OH! Sorry, Texas fans. Look, I love you. I love you. Love me a Matthew McConaughey. Love him so much. Love me an Archie Manning. As an Ohio State fan, I was actually going to be okay if Texas won last weekend. Archie Manning, those Mannings, great family. Like I don't know them personally, but just the humor, and you can tell the bond and the focus and the mission, and just they seem as if they are good people. So I'm really rooting for this kid, and just super cool. Just super cool for the whole family to see this full circle from granddad to the brothers to Archie's dad, what Archie's dad went through, young Archie, and then watching this kid come into his prime and so humble and very well spoken. It's just very, very cool. And I say that because the song that Christy, I'm coming back to you, so hang tight there. The song that I play for myself, I have a certain playlist of songs that are sort of my inspirational songs. So in sports, a lot of times athletes will have their earbuds in and they'll listen to whatever their motivation is before the big game. Okay. Saturday math, a lot of times my big game. Look, that's just the life I live. So I listened to the song Bloodline by Alex Warren with Jelly Roll. So if you don't know this, look it up. Look up Alex Warren. Alex Warren with Jelly Roll. produced and crafted a song together called Bloodline. The refrain is, you don't have to follow in your bloodline. You can break these chains that left you scars. Where you came isn't who you are. Now, I'm going to give examples of like polar opposites. Texas quarterback Archie Manning wouldn't connect with that song, in my perspective. Wouldn't connect with that song because he doesn't want to break the chains from where he came from. He wants to follow in that bloodline because it's a strong, good, positive bloodline. And honestly, that's very rare nowadays. And that's why I have a heart for that family. Lest they're skeletons they're hiding in their closet that I don't know about, they're hiding it really well. Because my perspective is that that is a strong bloodline that we should all try to achieve for generationally. Now, in my experience, my personal experience, I did not experience that. So the song Bloodline is one of my inspirations. So you're following that broken road. Your coach, your new coach and mentor, which is not blood related, will not let you walk alone. Oh, my brother, you don't have to follow in your bloodline. If we got each other, we still got tomorrow, and you still got time to break these chains that left you scars. Where you came isn't who you are. All right? Kirk, you like that, don't you? Look, that wasn't even just a line. Kirk, I went for the whole thing there, the whole
And you did
refrain.
it so well.
Thank you. Thank you. You can make fun of that later. Okay. In the chat,
I
y'all
would
can hit in
never,
chat
I
and make
would
fun of it. Okay.
never, I would never.
The point is the reason I do what I do and the reason I've created this team to launch this movement is because I, not only in my personal life, am breaking the chains and breaking the cycle for my own blood children. Okay. I am breaking the chains of mathematics teaching and lack of learning. It is not working. It never has. And if we continue to do what I'm going to put on this list, it never will. So, the purpose behind some of these stories today is I want to introduce you to some faces that are a very strong part of this journey. So, Christy Flynn, when I began teaching in 1999, Christy Flynn, now Christy began teaching before that. Because when I came in as a first year teacher, Christy Flynn was my intervention specialist in my eighth grade math classroom. And I mean, we both knew that this traditional typical math, because as far as intervention specialists, you see your caseloads. The traditional math classroom is not working for these kids and probably 50% of the other kids, at least. We know this. Like the intervention specialists know this. And the intervention specialists are just trying to follow the bloodline of the classroom teacher. First mistake. Okay. So Christy and I very early on started a partnership together of we've got to do something different. And we did. So a lot of what we're doing in Saturday Math and the achievement formula and everything that I teach is based on my history with especially people like Christy Flynn that have been on this journey with me. And we've evolved together. Okay. Kathy Fell, give me a wave. Kathy has extreme inspiration and impact on our next generation of teachers. So Kathy, at this point, Kathy has a long history, but Kathy now gets to teach methods courses to pre-service teachers. So, and Kathy has been around for a long time. Kathy actually was paving her path at the same time I'm paving my path, and then we ended up connecting. And so now we're also on this journey together. Kirk and I met just a few years ago, and we're like BFFs now. Me and Kirk, we're like this.
I hope so.
Yeah. Coke's Coke, Kirk.
Hey now.
Hey now, this is what dreams are made of.
Oh, you darn kids. That's the wrong song.
Hey now, you're an
Hey
all-star.
now.
Get your game
Don't
on. Go,
dream
Kirk.
it's over. Hey now. Hey now.
Oh, I was waiting for more. Kirk. There's a lot of Hey Now songs. I like it.
Yeah, but the best ones are from the 80s.
Yeah, I'm an 80s girl. I'm an 80s girl. I say Kirk and I BFFs because every year we have a June event. If you're here today, if you're listening to this, find out about our June event. You can always email me, johnlee at mindsonmath.com. Our June event is in person in Central Ohio. You will want to make the trip, and Kirk made the trip all the way from Atlanta to be in the room with all of us. And Kirk and I haven't known each other long, but Kirk, you're in the pack. You're in the circle. You're part of us, and you can't leave. Teresa Rodriguez recently retired. Now, Teresa by trade, occupational therapist. Teresa now, Minds on Math Achievement Formula certified coach, focusing on our kinder population, giving kinders a very different experience for mathematics. So, Teresa and I just met very recently in the last couple of years, and she accelerated through all of our parts and pieces as an occupational therapist. And I couldn't be more pleased. Brought on by Sherry. Give us a wave. Sherry Daughter, again, occupational therapist. Sherry and I met by chance by a collaborative friend, Dexter Godfrey. Shout out to Dexter. Dexter Godfrey, amazing motivational speaker, coach, and mentor, happened to see similar missions in Sherry and I. So in 2018, he introduced us, and the writing was on the wall, and all of that became what our partnership is today. Sherry and I together have taken the medical world, the educational world, looked at the overlap so that mathematics can be taught with neuroscience, the brain, the body, and the emotions all tied together to increase numeracy and mathematical achievement. So there you go. Um, who else has been on our journey for a long time if I didn't mention you? And Beth, give us a wave. I don't even know Beth. I met Beth 2 months ago. And Beth has consumed hundreds of hours of Sherry and I's content in just 2 months. So Beth is our MVP of the Saturday. I mean, Beth, I can't believe everything that you've done to learn in a condensed 2 month. And what's really beautiful is you all can too. And I'm gonna talk to you how as we go, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Just keep coming to Saturday Maths because Beth started this journey very shortly ago and already has accelerated herself to a very high level. And now she's like addicted to this and she's like, oh, but I don't get this and this and this. You got to give it time. Interactions over time. Interactions over time. Be
Woo!
patient. It is. It's a lot, a lot. It's a lot, a lot. I had another Zoom meeting yesterday with one of my assistant principals at another district, another client. And they have been implementing since May. So just a few months ago, they came to the big June on-site event. They've joined the Math Teacher Mastermind. And what they're panicked about now is, yeah, but what about, what about, what about, what about, what about, what about, what about? I can't teach you everything all at once. I keep using this word journey. It's a journey. I can't sit down and just give you the whole 565-page book on exactly how to do this and reverse these mistakes. The number one action and habit that we want for ourselves and our kids, here we go, write this down. The number one action, habit, exercise that we want for ourselves and our kids, and I'm going to write this at the bottom here because we're going to collect good habit, bad habits today, is, and I'm going to write it small, but I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to take a picture of this and I'll post it. But we learn by interactions over time. Interactions over time. So what I mean by that is the reason I do Saturday maths once a month is because there's lots of space in between. Cognitive science says you need to have lots of repetition, but they call it spaced repetition, meaning we repeat these teachings every Saturday with a month in between, and that's purposeful. If you said to me tomorrow, you know what, John, I've got the next 3 weeks that every day for 3 hours in the evening, I could meet with you and learn your whole thing. You could. You could hear the whole thing, but you wouldn't learn it because you need space. You need a good amount of space between each interaction with the same content, with the same content. And the only way we achieve this is by focusing on essentials. So the lists that I'm going to make at the bottom here are going to be the cures for these mistakes. And we're going to just go back and forth today. And we're going to make two lists and they're going to join together. And then right here where they join, I'm going to say, this is how you start your journey. One of the ways you start your journey is to just come to Saturday maths. That's it. Like that's it. Just come to Saturday math every Saturday. Don't worry about anything else. The the biggest mistake, oh my gosh, you guys. This isn't even a mistake that's on my notes. I just thought of it. But the mistake we make as educators, the biggest mistake that we make as educators is waiting until we have it all figured out to implement anything. Waiting to have it all figured out before we implement anything. This is why textbook companies make millions, almost billions of dollars because they're giving people what they want, not what they need. Hear it again. Textbook companies are giving people what they want, not what they need. And I'll explain this as we go today because I have a love-hate relationship with textbooks. But the biggest mistake that we make then, well, actually, this is one I had planned for today, is following the textbook. Now, the non-mistake, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not telling you to burn your textbooks in a bonfire, okay? The non-mistake we make, the right thing to do is to use the textbook. You see the difference here? And then we have ways to do this. So I'm giving you generalities right now, but this is the one that I had prepared today. Following the textbook, big mistake. So if I'm a math teacher and I have a new curriculum or an old curriculum, I follow the textbook page by page. I finish it by February. All of my kids have mastered it. Said no one ever. But the fact that we keep doing this is insanity. Guys, it's not a mistake anymore. It doesn't work. So, what I had said before that, though, is I'll put it in a different color because this isn't one I had planned for today. One of the biggest mistakes that we make as educators is trying to have it all figured out before we implement. And I'm going to write it like this: perfection over progress, or perfection over action. That's a mistake. I want you to just take action in small doses. 6 minutes next week, 2 days a week. Try something I've said. That's it. Yeah, but what do we do the other 3 days and then every day for the other 32 minutes? Follow your textbook. Do what you were going to do anyway. Another mistake we make is when we talk about, and I've heard this because if you're watching this we're recording this early in September. And at this point, many of my districts have adopted a new math textbook curriculum, but they didn't get trained on it till like after school started. So there was like this panic in the first couple weeks of school. And this was the phrase that I heard. Well, how do we fill the time? And what that told me was, we follow the textbook to fill the time. Teachers that need the textbook need it to fill the time. All mistakes. Is there an alternative? Yeah, there's lots of alternatives. But I'm just going to be real here. This is where we are. This is where we are. And if you're watching this recording, you know this as well as I do. So if you're a teacher, you might have been offended just now. Okay. But I want you to reflect on that for a moment. If you're using the textbook because you need to fill the time and you don't know how to fill your 38 minutes a day with good instructional facilitation, then you need Saturday Math and all of the programs that come along with it. We will teach you how to fill the time without following the textbook. So if that's a deficit of yours as a classroom teacher, we are for you. Intervention specialist perspective. I'm saying all this and you're like, oh my gosh, preach it, sister. Because intervention specialists see all of these mistakes every day in every math teacher's classroom. And they're at a loss. Like they go home crying every day because they know what is happening in the classroom isn't working and they feel that they're powerless to make any changes. School principals and curriculum leaders. I want to throat punch you sometimes. Let me tell you why. Follow the textbook with fidelity. You've got it. You've got to give it a chance. You've got to do the da 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 da. I'm just saying, we have to be careful with that. Because I have teachers in some of my schools now that they have the textbook and they know they're not going to get through everything. Okay, here's another phrase that I hear is get through. We have to change that mindset because now they have this textbook and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. Well, 2 weeks ago, you were telling me you didn't have enough to fill the time. But all of a sudden, this new textbook comes in, and now you don't have time. Like the math standards didn't change from 2 weeks ago to today. So I'm confused. Do you see what I'm saying here? So I'm confused. So now we're trying to not only get through the standards, because we can get through the standards by December. If we don't follow the textbook, we can get through the standards by December. And kids can master by February. Guaranteed. We've done it in all of our rooms. However, if we're trying if we're trying to get through the standards, I'm actually almost okay with that. What is a big mistake is trying to get through the textbook. So when our school leaders are preaching textbook, 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 when I go in and coach teachers, and then the principals of all and curriculum leaders and superintendents and assistant superintendents, when they've hired me to come in and improve number sense and improve math instruction and improve math achievement, what they don't understand is the mistake that they've made about the textbook, the textbook, the textbook, the textbook. Teachers are resistant to my work that has shown an increase in scores from 53% to 84% or 27% to 60%. Like huge gains in percents passing on state assessments. That's why they've hired me because they're like, oh my gosh, how are you doing this? I come in and I share how I'm doing this. And the teachers are resistant because they're like, yeah, but I don't have time for that. Okay, why don't you have time? Because I have all these standards to get through. No, you don't, because then we map out all of the standards and then the essential standards and we map it out. And in 60 days, we can be done. Well, yeah, but what? You know what I'm going to say. Following the textbook is what doesn't give them time for good instruction. Gosh, I am so loud this morning. Okay, come on down, John Lee. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, let me go to my list because I need to calm down. I'm going to start cussing. Okay,
Donnelly,
yes, Teresa.
Donnelly, that's I see it and I hear it because I'm the one with the tough principal who says, she's got your times and she's like, second grade, I want to see you in my office and I want to go over your kids and blah blah blah. And of course, she's going through, did you do this? Did you do that? And then I'm the OT who goes in, listen, I have an idea on how I can help your kids, blah, blah, blah. And then I had the teacher who said to me, I said, I want to build a sensory corner in your room. Can you do it out in the hallway? I'm like, what? So you know what I'm saying? You got the solution, and then they want to change it on you. You have your solution, and then they want to change it on you. There's like, but you've got others who are like, yeah, I see the answers. We got to figure it out. I don't know what the answer is, but there's got to be, you've got the haves and the haves nots. They're not ready to see it. So I don't know. I mean, Saturday math is what I've seen, and I've seen changes, but you're not going to get a lot of people on the bandwagon unless we keep saying, let's do this.
Teresa,
Because
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm going to invite others to talk.
yeah, you
Remember,
have to.
this is going out on public YouTube. So I invite you to talk, but just remember, this is going out. But friends, follow up on that. Come on.
I have thoughts, but they're probably not relevant to the whole group. But
It's okay. As long as it's okay for public consumption,
okay.
go
So
ahead.
3 years ago, I started working for a hybrid school, met 2 days a week, and I was using John Lee's method. Mine's on, and the kids were great, and we were all having fun. And then the board met and said, "What are they doing in math? Oh, we need to see outcomes, blah blah blah." And instead of giving me free reign, which is what I was promised, and all the kids loved, we had to use a textbook, which we started in November, and math was just horrible the rest of the year. Okay. So that's I understand teachers when principals say follow the textbook. That happened to me, and instead of having a bunch of feral homeschool kids loving math because they love to come to my station, math became drudgery, and I didn't like it. I don't work there anymore. Um,
Wonder why.
the other thing, yeah, the other
And
thing
oh,
is,
go ahead with the other thing, and then I want to talk about you don't work there anymore. Go ahead.
I'd still love that school, and I tell every parent send their kids there because the focus of that school is, and they don't say this on their website, but it's treating children as people.
Nice.
So 70% of their students are neurodiverse, and basically homeschooled because they can't go to public school because they're too smart or too autistic or have too many sensory issues. But this is a school, and they've become accredited since then, and they're going to be a full. Anyway, it's a great school. Love the
Sure.
school. They love kids. You can only work there if you love kids and you do right by the kids. And the academics are seriously secondary to helping each kid feel comfortable and helping each child thrive. So textbooks are stupid in my mind. And I don't have a love-hate relationship with them. I pretty much have a hate relationship with them. But we need to focus on the children. We need to focus on the kids. Academics will come when the kids are ready.
And a couple of thoughts on this. One is schools are going to continue to lose good people early on if they don't make themselves aware of what they're doing unintentionally. Like Kirk said, this is a great school. Their mission is great. Da, 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 da. But with academics and specifically with math achievement, there has to be a huge paradigm shift because there are words for treating kids as people and the environment of the school. And like Kirk says, it's a wonderful school. They need to have that same mindset for the math academic piece. So, see, there's a disconnect there. And they don't because they just don't know. Again, mistakes are unintentional. So, good people are going to continue to leave, or when teachers have taught so many years in the same district, and I empathize with teachers that have been in the same district for a long time and you're stuck, you can't leave, but you're really good. Then you start getting those good people to be like, F it. This is what, when we talk about this, and admin, if you're listening to this, I coach admin all the time. And if you don't want to hear what I'm saying, you're probably the one making a lot of mistakes. I'm just saying. So if you are an admin and you're listening to this, how do you lead different? How do you lead for math achievement? This list that we will continue to make on our Saturday math sessions is how you set your framework. And it's very counterintuitive. It's very counterintuitive to what we are currently doing in typical traditional mathematics. So I want to say that about what Kirk is saying, and that's a frustration. Now, the reason I have a love-hate relationship with textbooks, now, I've been teaching a long time. As a matter of fact, I am so passionate about what I'm doing. I have not been teacher of record for my own students for 14 years. Okay. I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics. I've never intended to be a teacher. I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics, started in actuarial science. I was going to be an actuary, failed my first math class as a sophomore in college, said, okay, I'm out of actuary science. I'm not retaking that. So I shifted to just a math degree. So I have a Bachelor of Science in mathematics, was still going to go the insurance company route, the analytical route, that kind of thing. It didn't work out. So I actually got certified to teach. So my certification is 7 through 12 mathematics. So I have a secondary certification to teach mathematics. I have a master's degree in that, and my bachelor's degree is in mathematics only. And I say all of this because I was really good at mathematics in school. I was the 12% of people that learned, well, let me say this a different way. I was the 12% of people that were able to show high achievement with scores and thought I learned until I got to college and failed my first math class. And then also until I started teaching. And in my first year of teaching, in the first month, I realized I know nothing about mathematics. Yet I have a bachelor's degree in mathematics and I have a master's degree in teaching and learning of mathematics. So my point is, we are all products of the system, however you want to shake that out, and the system is broken because even for the people that achieved, we didn't learn. So I had to relearn. Now, here's the thing. I'll go back to what I was saying about textbooks. The reason I still have a love-hate relationship is as a math classroom teacher, and only math classroom teachers, tier one core math classroom teachers will understand this. It is hard to keep up daily. I'm just going to be real honest here. It is hard to keep up daily. And for many of us, exhaustion sets in and we just need a textbook sometimes to just have a mental break. I'm going to be real. And that is not a mistake. And I encourage you. Part of using a textbook is when you've gone full force for like 3 weeks with this paradigm shift and you're like, I just can't mentally or physically do this anymore. You know what? The next 2 weeks we're working out of the textbook. I know that that is not necessarily the right thing to do, but being a 100% full-time math classroom teacher teaching 5 or 6 classes every day, y'all, if you haven't done it, you don't know. Okay? So I'm being real on that. I need something to fill the time. Do you see? I'm going back on all of this. I'm not saying don't ever do these things. Now, at this point, myself, probably our Kristas, our Natalies, our Amy Garrisons, our math classroom teachers that have been doing this a while, they're like, yeah, but I get you, John Lee. I get you, but I have to do that much less often now because of how much higher my awareness is of avoiding these mistakes. And it's very natural. And actually, it takes less prep. As a matter of fact, the reason I told the story, and then Krista, be ready to say some things because I want to hear some things. Okay. The reason I told that story, I haven't been teacher of record for 14 years for my own kids because I've been out working this mission. Okay, I've been out working this mission. I've been in hundreds of schools, working with thousands of kids, hundreds and thousands of kids and teachers, dozens and dozens of school districts, implementing these things over the years and finding some really great results from it. This year, school year 2025, 2026. I have taken a partnership with a school district who is, I mean, this school district, I cannot say enough about. I mean, I will not partner with just anybody. And this school district has not only welcomed me with open arms, they're not only confused by me, adults and kids, but they're like, you do you, girl. Don't dull my sparkle. Okay? And they have embraced that. And I couldn't be more thrilled. But this partnership I requested to include me being teacher of record for some kids. because I'm tired of asking somebody else permission of what I can do in their classroom. And my teachers are great that I work with because I teach in classrooms every year, every week, every month, all the time. And I have for 14 years, every grade level, preschool through high school. But it's never my classroom. So this year I have three classes. I have two high school algebra twos and a high school algebra one. All three in inclusion classes. Okay. I requested that. And some of these mistakes that I'm mentioning are things that I hardly ever do anymore. And for two reasons here, I wanted my own freedom and I also wanted to challenge myself. Okay, you're preaching on this stuff, John Lee, but you don't have your own classroom. Okay, well now I do. So the reason that this is getting put out there and the reason I'm being pretty snarky and the reason I'm being loud and aggressive is because I've been in this for 4 weeks now and I'm tired of the regular classroom teacher crap. Tired of the excuses. Tired of it. I get it. I get it. I get you. I'm aware of you. But I'm done with it because we can do this. So I told you a little bit of my background. I've gone away, I've come back, but when I went away, I was in classrooms, just not my own. Now, the other half of my day, I'm still coaching. I'm still partnering with other classrooms. So this year, my full, like 100% focus is on, of course, Algebra 2 and Algebra 1, grade 8 and grade 2. So I'm narrowing my intense grade level focuses. Usually I'll come at the beginning of the year and say, okay, so I am partnering with grade 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10 because I'm not teacher of record of any of them. But I'm narrowing the focus this year. Algebra 2, Algebra 1, grade 8, grade 2. Those are the big focus areas. So in our math teacher mastermind, I'm going to continue to give you all of the resources and lesson plans for all four of those areas. But what you're going to notice is those grade 2, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's what I do with fifth graders. Yeah, but this is how we do it with second grade. Well, okay, I'm a kindergarten, first grade teacher. I guess can't do any of that. No, we have Teresa and Amy that are implementing in K1, and Amy's been implementing now for about a dozen years also. I'm doing a lot of yakking and not a lot of teaching. I need to reverse that here because I want you all to come back. I'm looking at the comments here. Yes, exposure. So, here's our next mistake. Here's our next mistake. You're not going to like this. You're not going to like it, and I don't care. Okay. A focus on mastery. The reason this is a big mistake is we spend too long on one thing. So, guess what that does? It limits the interactions over time on the essential things, which this is what moves the needle. Let me give you an example. I'm going to teach a little bit here, okay? With the classes that I'm in every week, there are certain things that we do daily. One of them, and this actually starts, I don't do this with my second graders. I'm going to show you difference between what I do and where it leads. But one of the things that I do daily, and this should start mid third grade, mid grade 3, daily diamond problem. Daily. Now, I know that looks like an X, but the way that it was sort of invented and coined is it was this diamond, which is this tilted rectangle thing, this tilted quadrilateral. I know you're going to be like, well, the angles aren't, whatever. Okay, just stop with me. So you have this tilted quadrilateral thing because one of the essentials that we teach is this is the, and okay, so Sherry, I'm going to allow you to put one link. I don't want to overwhelm people with links, but Sherry, if you can do this, this would be great. There is a link to the Tier 1 Interventions podcast. So, Sherry, if you could get everybody the YouTube link for the Tier 1 Interventions podcast. I don't want to give people too many action items today because your only action is I want you to keep coming back to Saturday math. That's it. But if you have time for another action, I want you to check out the Tier 1 Interventions podcast on YouTube. Like and follow and comment.
For those of you who are just watching this and aren't really paying attention, if you just go to youtube.com and in the search bar, hit the @ Tier 1 Interventions Podcast, you'll find us.
Great point. And I'm going to repeat it because it was a great point. Go to YouTube. Search up. Like my kids always say, search it up, Mom. Search it up. Can you search it up? Let me search it up. Okay. Search it up. Tier 1, the number 1, Tier 1 Interventions with an S. Tier 1 Interventions Podcast. You have to put podcast on there in YouTube because YouTube isn't like just a podcast platform. Tier 1 Interventions Podcast. The reason I say this is one of our essentials is multiplication is rectangle. So everything that we do from preschool through high school that has to do with computation and multiplication is always related to rectangle. That's always our visual. So a diamond problem, I'm just going to say is a tilted rectangle. Don't come at me, okay? But the reason it's called diamond is because of that. But the easier way to do it daily is to put this X. So a lot of people are like, why is it a diamond problem? Well, I just told you. Okay. So that none of that is even the point. So every single day, my kids have a diamond problem. And it might be something like this. The top number is 24. The bottom number is 11. The top number is the product of two numbers, and the bottom number is 11. Whenever we're multiplying two different things with two parts each, like a 2-digit by 2-digit number, or x plus 2 times x plus 3, or 3.5 times 3.5. Anytime we're multiplying, and typically it's like a two-part thing, we break the parts apart. So a 2-part by 2-part is going to give me 4 parts. Multiplication is rectangle in 4 parts. So this is actually going to lead us to polynomial factoring in high school. That's why this is important in 4th grade. Just doing diamond problems. Remember this perfection over progress? That's the mistake. We want progress over perfection. We want action. We want you to implement before you have it all figured out. Here's what you can implement. Diamond problems. If that is your only takeaway from today, you're reversing mistakes. Diamond problem a day. Diamond problem a day. Email me if you want my diamond problem worksheets. If you're in the Math Teacher Mastermind, you're going to get them. They're going to be in the resource folder that you get access to everything. You will get my daily diamond problems. You can Google it, diamond problems. Okay. I don't like the ones that are Googled. I like mine. Okay. So the top number is the product. The bottom number is the sum of two of the same number. Not of the same number. They don't have to be the same. These can be different numbers, but you know what I'm saying? So put in the chat or tell me what two numbers would go here.
Howdy,
What numbers would go here?
Miss Math Lady. I didn't let them see me though.
Tell me what two numbers would go here. Two numbers that when we multiply, we get 24 and add to get 11. Okay, you got it. So every day I have my kids computing, but this is a different way to get fact fluency going. Do you see the difference? Kids have to figure out. Now, sometimes I will give them the two numbers. Ha ha! Do you see? So what's my product? Kids want the product of 1/2 and 1/2 to be 1. Now, let's say they're telling me, now this is not right, but let's say they're telling me the product of 1/2 times 1/2 is 1. What do we do if kids don't get it? This is the theme at one of my clients, not my school district, but at a client school district this year. What do we do if kids don't get it? John Lee, I've been doing diamond problems every day, but they keep getting them wrong. Okay, that's okay. Do the diamond problems, keep documenting what they're getting wrong. At some point, though, we have to teach them something explicitly so that they don't get the diamond problems wrong. Okay, but for now, we're just playing with this. But it depends on which diamond problems. If they are struggling with this multiplication of fraction, here's our answer. We have a task for that. I'm going to write that down here. We have a task for that. Okay? What I mean by that is we let these mistakes, remember, mistakes are good because they're unintentional. The kids aren't making these mistakes on purpose. And we're documenting this, and I keep saying to them, "Oh, no, that's not right, but I'm not sure you're ready to know why it's not right or what it is." So we do this for a couple of weeks, and then finally one day we do one of the tasks that I know reverse deficits. So one of our solutions to these mistakes is task-based math. We teach our content and standards through a few tasks. That's our biggest solution. Okay. You don't need to know any more about that. I don't want to overwhelm you, but I'm just saying there's a task for that. So one day I'm going to do a lesson, and you don't need to worry about what this is. If this is your first time with us, don't worry about what this is. I just want you to hear this today. I don't want you to learn it. I want you to hear it. So one day, randomly, as a teacher, based on all of the evidence of their mistakes, I'm going to do a task called paper folding. Now, all of our tasks are named for easy reference. Hence, we call these essential tasks reference tasks. Reference tasks are used to teach every chapter and unit in my textbook. So this is another reason I like textbooks. I will teach my textbook through these tasks. Oftentimes early on, educators won't see that connection. So then what we do at Minds on Math is we coach and consult on the connection between teaching with tasks and still using your textbook appropriately. So I might do, and I'm not going to do this today. But I'm just telling you that we have a task for that. And there's a name for that task. Now, if you've been on Saturday Math, if you're one of our followers, if you're in some of our programs, you've seen this task hundreds of times. You've used it with your kids. This task is used at every single grade level, preschool through high school, the same exact task. It can't be a reference task if it can't be used at all of these grade levels. That's the key. If it's like an M&M task for data and probability and statistics, that can't be a real big reference task because I'm targeting that task for just those few standards. A reference task will actually hit on hundreds of standards. So there's lots of variations to this lesson. So I've already I just finished on Friday my 15th day of school with my kids, and I've already done paper folding with them 6 times. That's how powerful the task is. And every month I'll do paper folding to teach different units in my textbook. That's how powerful reference tasks are. I told you this is a paradigm shift. This is very counterintuitive. Now, if you're on the edge of your seat and you're like, I want all the tasks, I want all of this, I want to, no, you can't have all the resources because you're going to mess it up. See, without the mindset and without the paradigm shift and without the training, the foundational training of what the mistakes are and the instructional strategies to reverse the mistakes, you will mess up paper folding. I will give you the script for it, and you'll teach it the way that you are habitually teaching, and it will not do what it's supposed to do. So people are always like, Johnny, just write the curriculum and then have all of your stuff in there. No, because you'll mess it up. I'll give you the book and you'll mess it up. There's a lot of user error if you don't have the right mindset, philosophy, and habits for instructional facilitation. So the people, if I took away their textbook and they're like, I don't know how to fill the time, those are the people that are going to mess up my tasks. Going to give my tasks a bad name. You're not allowed to have them. So there. Anyway, diamond problems daily. Diamond problems daily. Ha ha! I'm going to show you something that I do weekly, actually with my older kids daily, but weekly with my second graders. And I also do this with my high schoolers. Square root. Essential. Numbers that make squares. There are lots of variations of square root. That's why I can do this with my high schoolers. I do it daily. If you're in our math teacher mastermind, you will get all of my daily warm-ups. They're all going to have a diamond problem. They're all going to have a variation of a square root. Oh, but we have a task for that. I can get first and second graders to understand square root, not as a notation, not as a computation, not as multiplication. We have a task for that. It's called pizza problem. You don't need to worry about what it is. I'm just telling you that's our solution. So diamond problems and square roots. Now, don't go implementing square roots with your kids because I didn't give you the background on that. The diamond problems you can implement and you can't mess it up. You can't mess it up. So diamond problems daily. That is going to improve computation, fluency, and number sense. It'll improve better and faster when you have the instructional strategies for the diamond problems. But I can't give you all that today. You have to keep coming back to Saturday maths. And you'll get the way that all humans learn, not just kids and not just adults. The way that we learn is interactions over time, focusing on essentials. And that is not the way typical traditional mathematics delivers instruction. And that's why it's not working. That is not the way that textbooks are set up. Oh, but we have a spiral review. How's that working for you? It's not. Reference tasks and referencing and interactions over time are very different than a spiral review. Okay? So just make note of that. Maybe we should make that a mistake. Spiral review. Everyone knows that phrase. So let's just put it up there. Let me go to my notes here. Let me go to my notes. See, I can't teach with a textbook. I physically can't do it anymore. I can't even, it's hard for me to teach with a PowerPoint. When people hire me and pay money, like I feel like I have to like use a PowerPoint when I teach because like I'm supposed to or something. It restricts me way too much. So I wrote notes for today, but like I just like to do. Anyway, okay. Oh, I forgot that. Okay, this is why I make notes. Okay. Oh, this is a big mistake. This is a big mistake. Oh, you guys. Confirming correctness. You're not going to like that one. So here's how we differentiate in our classroom. Funny, Beth, I was just going to talk about this and you put a great comment in the chat. When we have students at different levels, it is a huge undertaking in the old mindset, in the traditional typical mindset to differentiate. Because that means not only do I have to plan one lesson, but I have to plan seven. I'm not asking anybody to do that. First of all, I'm not doing that. That's where reference tasks were actually born because I can plan one lesson for 13 different levels. That's how beautiful reference tasks are. Okay? Now I'm going to talk about this in a couple of ways. I have to train my kids. I have trained my students. And my high school students had like admitted on day 8, they were like, Miss Stupanzik, we did not like your class. Like some of them, they were like, we were going to try to get out of your class. But then by day 8, they're like, but you're growing on us. And then some of my high school students are like, I've learned more in these 2 weeks of school than I think I have in the last 2 years. Ouch. I'm just being real. I'm not making this up. Because I don't confirm correctness. I actually ignore a lot of kids when they say answers. And I train, and then they get frustrated. And then, like 23 minutes later, when I'm like, oh, let's go back to that. So that's 7. And then 3 kids are like, I said that 20 minutes ago. Like they're angry. Then it's an opportunity to talk about what my purpose is. What are the reasons behind my facilitation techniques? What are the reasons behind my teaching moves? So I had to explain to my high school students, I'm not ignoring you. I heard you say it like 4 times, and I didn't acknowledge you. I didn't acknowledge. Another way to say this is acknowledging accuracy. So I'm going to put that here too. Oh, I got to put it in red because that's a bad thing. Reds are bad today. I don't know how to spell acknowledge. Acknowledging accuracy. Okay. And I tell my kids, I didn't acknowledge you, not because I was being mean to you. And I want all of you to get used to this. And then I have to tell my kids what the new normal is. Even with my second graders, I always, of course, the second graders love how I teach. You don't have to explain anything to them because they're like all over it. They're like, this is the best thing ever. Can math class be like this all the time? Okay. But with my high schoolers, they come with so much baggage that I have to be like, okay, I have to tell you guys, I am not the same as most math teachers. They're like, yeah, we know. But I'm going to tell you the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because on day 1, I said to them, what did I tell you my role is on day 1? And they're like, you're not our math teacher, you're our thinking coach. And that's what I say on day 1. I am not your math teacher. Matter of fact, I don't really care about the math. We're only using the mathematics as the vehicle to teach you to think. So on day 1, I am your thinking coach. This is our think tank, and you will learn to think. So by day 8, The first 5 or 6 days, they're like, screw this. This is awful. Why? Because it's not easy to think. I'm going to make you work for your learning. Which on day 8, I'm telling them this. And then I say to them, I've done this for 2 weeks now. I don't acknowledge your accuracy immediately. Here's why. Because Amy, her name's not Amy. I almost said her name. Her name's not Amy. Amy knows a lot of math. She actually had been through accelerated math classes, and then all of a sudden in algebra 2, she moved into regular algebra 2. So she's got lots of, my own 2 kids say this all the time. I have 2 boys. They're 20 and 16. Actually, my 16-year-old will be 17 on Monday, but they're 20 and 16. And my own boys say this to me all the time. Mom, I'm gonna say it. I'm probably gonna say it in an offensive way, but I don't know how else to say it. Like, Mom, I'm never as smart as the smart group, but like I'm on top of like all the regular people. I know that that's a weird way to say it. I probably shouldn't have even said that. But if you're in that spot, it's always frustrating. So Amy, she's kind of in this spot where she's now in a regular math class instead of accelerated. But now she's like, oh my gosh, you're making me work harder than I did in my accelerated. I'm just making you think harder, which is exhausting. Why are teachers more exhausted than the kids? Because the teachers did all the thinking. Thinking is exhausting, and our kids are not doing any of the thinking. And here's what I mean by that. And I tell my kids, if you say something and it's correct, I have trained myself as a teacher to not react on that. I don't acknowledge. And then I'll ask the question a different way. And that same student will be like, 7. Then I'll ask, I don't even look at that student. I don't have a face reaction. I have nothing. And then I'll ask the question in a different way. And then another student who never answers because we've taught them that if they sit passively long enough, they don't have to do any thinking. Everybody else will do it for them. So the third time I've asked the question, now a student is like, okay, she's not going to let up on this. And then that other student is like, 7? Because they know that this other kid over here that always gets it right is saying 7. And then, see, now you got, like, maybe the answer isn't 7, maybe it is. I don't know. I do this same thing regardless of whether they're accurate or not. Do you see? You have to respond the same way if they're accurate or inaccurate. It's the same game. It's the same instructional facilitation. So then I'll ask the question a fourth way. And then finally, some other students are like, no, the answer is 3.5. And I'm like, now we're getting somewhere. So what are all the answers we've heard so far? And then I'll list them all. Then I say to the students, okay, the reason I do this is because if I would have confirmed Amy's 7 immediately, all thinking would have stopped, but most thinking would have never started because it never started to begin with. We have trained kids through traditional, typical math instruction. We have trained kids to not think. Because if you wait long enough, typically the teacher is going to do all the thinking for you. So once I start telling my students this, they're like, we don't like that game. I'm like, you don't have to like it. You just have to do it. You have to understand why I'm doing it. You don't have to like it. And I promise them more learning will happen through the way that I'm instructing you. You're not going to like it, and it's going to be a lot more work. Not a lot more work. It's going to be a lot more thinking. And they're like, our brains have never felt this way. These are juniors in high school. What is wrong with our system? How have these kids never felt their brain thinking? Well, I know. It's because schools are set up to mimic and memorize. There's no thinking. There's no thinking. So the point is, on day 8, I started to bring kids into the background of why I do what I do. You talk about a culture shift. And then some of the kids are like, Miss Suhanzik, I have to admit, you're growing on me. And then last week, about a handful of my students said to me, a lot of the freshmen, because I have an Algebra 1, Miss Z, this is my favorite class. Most of your kids are not going to say that if you're teaching through these mistakes. They're just not. They're going to hate math and they're going to forever hate math. You heard what Kirk said about an hour ago. We're doing that to them. It's not their fault. It's our fault as adults. So, what do we do different? How do we reverse these mistakes? We take action. We implement something even if we don't believe it. We implement even if we think it's not going to work. Nike, just do it. Take action, make progress, and implement something new. You can have your textbook, but what we cannot do is go page by page, section by section. Filling the time is not an issue if you have strong facilitation techniques. Now, let me pause for a minute because Krista, I said I want you to say something, but I want it to kind of be on this. What did you all hear today? I mean, let's say some takeaways to like reverse this, okay? But I want to hear from all of you. What are good, effective, high impact, brain based instructional facilitation strategies that either you know about or you heard today that teaching that way eliminates this need to fill the time because you're not going to have enough time and it's not going to be because of the textbook. And then Krista, I said, could you say something? If you want to say something, now is a good time to do that. But what are the facilitation techniques? What are the things that are moving the needle that you either heard today or that you're already doing? Go ahead. Krista, what's your journey been like?
From the beginning or just
You tell us whatever you want to, girl. You've been at this for a long time.
yeah, I will say that I started coming because I just needed my kids to think a little bit deeper and transfer their knowledge. And that's how I started coming to our Saturday Mass. And there was a big push for questioning. So one thing that I have discovered is if you ask the right questions, and you're careful about your questioning, then you don't need to worry about your time filler because it's just going to build your class.
Boom. Other takeaways from today. Takeaways from today. I'm reading, and you can unmute in a minute. MKA, are you my new BFF? You don't have to say anything. MKA.
This is
Uh-huh.
yeah, this has been great. I'm very impressed.
Do you want
And
to say
it's
something else?
no,
Okay.
I put it in the chat. I just it I'm thinking this morning. I mean, I'm thinking about what I want to implement next week just from the discussion we've had today.
Beautiful. MKA, I agree. Wasn't sure about you to begin, but you're growing on me. I get that a lot, MKA. That's whoo, I am a spicy girl. I am a spicy girl.
You're a lot of fun. You're fun, and I'm sure your students love you.
Well, I've been called the fun buster a time or two. I raised two
Tough love.
boys. But
Yeah, tough
yes,
love.
we have fun. And yesterday was my deadline. It was my due date to learn the gritty. And I did it. And I did it good. Anywho. Intervention specialist. Okay. Your own math anxiety. Oh, this is good therapy. I am your new therapist, and you get a free session every Saturday for 90 minutes. MKA, stay with us. For those of you that want to know when our next sessions are, go to eventbrite.com where you registered for this. Go to eventbrite.com and follow Minds on Math. That's important. Do that now. Go to eventbrite.com, follow Minds on Math, because then you will get alerted when the registration is up for the next session. You can't register for all year. Can't do it. Scaffolding. Yeah, we do. We all lean on the textbook. That's survival. That is our survivor soccer ball. Tom Hanks. What was that soccer ball's name? Wilson. Okay. Our textbook is our Wilson. We're just trying to survive.
Can you hear me?
Yes, MS. Talk to us.
Well, I was a professional musician for years, and they always talk about how math is related to music, and I can't help but think music is related to math. It goes both ways. Anyway, I met a man from France. I'm quite old, and he turned his whole class around with creative ways to practice, and he wrote many method books on how to practice.
What's his name?
His name was Marcel Moïse. He was the master of the flute in the 20th century. And I just can't help but think that your whole method I hardly ever followed the method books. They were good for the beginning, but then the kids and I would just tear it apart, how to practice, and they'd make up ways to practice, and I'd relate it to this. This is just wonderful. The method that you're proposing is what great musicians do.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
That's beautiful.
I love what you're doing. Absolutely love it. And
first of all, thank you. And second of all, I am thrilled that you are here. Marcel Moïse?
Marcel.
Okay.
Marcel in French is Michael.
Okay.
Moïse. And he had just, dozens of books that.
Do you by any chance know the name of one of his books? Or no?
Oh,
it's okay if not.
Well, tone development through interpretation was his first really big one. And he'd take famous opera melodies and, if you look at the written page, it's just a melody written down. But then in class, he'd relate it to language and stories and analogies in nature and just tear it apart until everybody in the seminar could play beautifully. Tone development through interpretation.
Oh my gosh, MS, you are a rock star. This is beautiful.
Well, I struggled with math, and when people would tell me, oh, it relates to music, well, I could see the greater picture in terms of formulas for harmonies and how melodies fit with the harmonies. It is kind of a huge math problem when you're composing. But
yes,
I like this because you are teaching math through interpretation and making the kids actually think.
I
So
love that.
this is my first time with you. It's really my first time in a Zoom meeting, but I just had to say that you're right on. You are right
Yes.
on.
Oh my gosh, do not lose touch with us. You've got
Okay.
to keep coming.
Yes, I'm anxious. I like this. Maybe I
Beautiful.
can finally understand math.
Hey, you're in the right place. Oh
Mhm.
my goodness. Other friends, takeaways. Now, I know we're 1 minute over. I do respect your time. If you have to jump, don't feel bad about jumping. I'm going to hang on for about another 9 minutes. If you have to go, follow Minds on Math at eventbrite.com. You'll get the email for the reminder for the registration for the next session. We do this once a month. I appreciate you being here today. Every single one of you have,
Oh, it's great.
you've joined the journey. You've
Mhm.
joined the journey. You're an addict now. And
Yeah,
this is a good addiction to have.
yeah.
So if you guys need to jump, jump. Don't feel bad about it. But I'm going to hang on for a little longer. Other takeaways, other thoughts, other comments. Go ahead.
I will just say another one. So we've been in school for about 2.5 weeks. And my sixth graders are, we have the attitude and they're street smart. So school is not their thing. So they will not tell me that my class is their favorite. What they
No,
tell
never.
They say, you're my favorite teacher now, but math is not my favorite. Even though math is not my favorite, you're my favorite teacher. And I'm like, hmm. So you only have me for math and I'm your favorite. So, you have to kind of read between the lines with my group because they are kind of streetwise and they will not, it's not cool and they don't want
No,
to be cred, but I have won them over 2.5 weeks.
you always do, girl. And that is not an easy accomplishment where you are. Other takeaways, other thoughts.
All right, this isn't relevant to what you're talking about, but if anybody's coming to Atlanta in October for NCTM,
Yeah?
Vanessa Vicaria is staying over on the 18th so that we can hang out. So if anybody is in town that week and wants to stay Saturday night, you can hang out with Vanessa and I.
No way.
Yeah,
What weekend is this in October?
October 18th.
October 18th.
It's at the end of the conference.
I'm not coming to the conference. I don't even care about the
You want to
conference.
come down and hang with us? I would love.
No, Kirk, hold on. I got to get another piece of paper.
Got a
Stop it.
whiteboard behind you.
Vanessa's my girl.
She's my girl too. She's my girl first, by the way.
No. Okay, would you say October 17th?
18th, Saturday
October
night.
October 18th is the hang day.
Yes.
And where is this going to be?
Well, we got to figure that out.
Oh,
Either downtown near the hotel where things are really expensive, or I'm gonna go get her and bring her out to the suburbs where I live where things are cheaper.
I'd rather go where things are cheaper.
Me too. So
Okay.
let's say Tucker, Georgia.
What is it?
Tucker, Tucker, Georgia.
Like my favorite F word, but with a T.
Food is your favorite F word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Tucker, Georgia on
Oh, this,
October
this isn't
18th.
for this isn't for like sharing. This is for this group only.
Oh, well, we just recorded it.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, if you weren't attending live, you're not invited.
Yes. Okay. So if you're listening to this recording, first of all, if you're listening to this recording after October 18th, 2025, you done missed it. So it's not a big deal. But I agree with Kirk. If you're listening to this recording before October
Well,
18th,
they won't know where we're
2025,
meeting because we haven't figured that out yet. So it doesn't matter.
no. So we're
But if
good.
you
We're
email
good.
me at kirkstutoring.com, and you're nice, maybe I'll invite you.
Yeah, but you're not invited because you weren't here live. I mean, we can't start a whole viral thing and have like 3,000 people show up at Kirk's house. So here's the
Oh,
thing.
we could.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
don't
like
think it
what
would
was that
happen.
TikTok trend with the old guy's birthday party? Dave's
I don't
party or
know. I
something?
haven't been on TikTok in 4 or 5 years.
Okay, come on. Somebody knows it. What was it? Is it Dave? Dave's party or something? Did you all hear about that? Went viral. And then the police had to be like, oh my God, we're going to get thousands of people showing up for Dave's birthday or something. Because somebody, one of his family members posted something but didn't know they posted it publicly. So then it like it became viral and people are like, we're coming because they posted all the information. So
Ah,
now everybody's afraid, like on this date, hundreds of thousands of people are going to show up because everybody's talking about it online. Like it was a whole fun thing. It was so cool. But people ended up sending cards to him, and I think he was turning like 70 something. It was a riot.
all
Anyway,
right.
we could
Well, I'll
do
tell you
that.
where I'm thinking. I'm
You've got me
thinking
wondering
Fellini's.
now.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead, Kirk, and then Teresa.
I just want to know who
Fellini's.
she is.
Oh, Vanessa. She
Yes.
wrote some math books called Math Hacks, where the first section of the book is all about neuroscience, and she doesn't even talk math until page 45.
What's her last name?
Vekaria. She's the
Okay.
math guru on social media.
All right.
That's her
Because I
handle,
was like,
the
I
math
caught her
guru.
Yeah.
first name,
Oh,
but
and
I didn't, I wanted to look her up.
John Lee, you need to get on her podcast because she's weekly now.
She's never invited me.
But she's never invited me either. So, eh.
Now, she was on my
Reach
summit
out,
one year,
girl.
Yeah.
and we've talked. What?
Reach out to her.
Nope. Nope.
No,
I don't,
seriously
nope,
reach out to
I don't
her.
have time.
Seriously reach out to her.
No, no.
Okay, I'm going to
We
talk
know
to
each
her.
other. We're good. We're good. It'll
Yeah, but
happen eventually, but yeah, I don't do that. Okay, Kirk. Who knows what this will turn into? But if you're listening to this recording, you're not invited unless you have the personal invitation and you don't even know where we're going anyway. It's going to be a good time and you're going to miss out. So,
Fellini's Pizza in Oak Grove. Oh,
oh my,
that may be where we're going. That may not be where we're going. I
what
don't know.
are
I
you
don't know.
doing?
I don't know. I don't know. I would that would be my first choice because I have like 6 clients that within very short distance,
Uh-huh.
and I really want my kids to meet her. But of course, what 13-year-old wants to go meet a math tutor on a Saturday? So anyway, my dreams and their dreams don't collide, don't line up.
They could if they know what's good for them. No, I'm thinking about hopping on a plane.
I'm thinking Southwest has $49 airfares one way from or in between Atlanta and Columbus, Ohio right now.
Oh, I know. Atlanta is really good, easy to get to. Can you come pick me up?
Yeah, of course.
Kirk,
I'll pick you up at the airport if you'd like.
you are so okay. All right.
Yes, most people would just hop on the
No,
train.
I'm not going to chop the end of the video. This is all going public. This is all going public.
And I'll shut up.
No, don't shut up. This is the point. No, this is the point. I want this out there. Very cool. Any
Okay,
other
well,
thoughts, comments? Hey,
I
I don't
would
know
be
about, oh, yeah, what?
I would be remiss if I didn't mention Vanessa's latest book.
Please, yes, yes, yes.
Because we got to hype Vanessa. Vanessa deserves all the hype.
Agreed.
Latest book is called Math Therapy. Hold on. Let me grab a copy of it.
Please. Vanessa, we love you.
Hold on. So this book came out about a year ago, and it's starting to get some traction. And
Yes, it
it's
is.
great. It's amazing.
She does the math therapy podcast.
Yeah. I do math therapy differently than she does, but I'm incorporating more and more
Yeah.
of the book as we go along. But I get students have to feel comfortable in math class, so I use manipulatives so that they can see the math and that before I ask them to think too hard. But
Love
that's
it.
how I do math therapy. I get them to realize math isn't the issue. because math is just numbers and all we do is count. That's all we have to do with math is count. But once we get past that, we talk about
Say that again, Kirk. Math is not the issue.
no.
All
How we
we
teach
do
math
is
is the issue. That's why we're here. How we
all
teach
we
math
do
is
is say it. You said it
okay.
beautifully.
Ask your students what is math, and they're going to say stuff with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you ask them, what do you do with numbers? And the only thing we do is count. So you start in the concrete and you give them things to count. And the problem in public schools is we take away the manipulatives after first grade.
And the other problem is we stop focusing on counting.
Yes. I
The
have my middle
only
schoolers. I use 120 charts with my middle schoolers. And I ask them to count. And then I take it away and say count by fractions or count by decimals. And they freak out because nobody practices counting. And that's fundamental. And once they figure out they can count and all math is addition and you do division by skip counting, kids are fine with math. It's the trauma that they get from feeling frustrated that is the damage because we're teaching math wrong in public schools. Anyway,
so
sorry, that's my soapbox. I'm done.
no, but I love this because this is really the only solution. And this is what we teach through the achievement formula and at Minds on Math as well is the only thing I want you to teach as a math teacher is counting. And counting can teach all of our standards. And counting has certain progressions, and we don't realize this. So we stop focusing on counting and we focus on other things like computing, which is just counting, calculation, which is just counting, function, which is just counting, graphing, which is just counting, number line, which is just counting, subtraction, which is just counting, division, which is just counting. You name almost any math topic, concept, skill, or standard. And the root of it is just a counting exercise. That is what I teach. That is what I teach. And Kirk, you said it absolutely perfectly. All right, anything for the good of the order because we're going to break this party up.
Well, then I have to say, as a disclaimer, that's not my thoughts. Those are Jerry Mortenson's thoughts. What I was relating to is Mortenson math.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And another big shout out to Vanessa Vicaria. Y'all, if you don't know her, look her up. She is spicy fun. You think I'm spicy? Vanessa is spicier. Spicier. And I think I'm going to head to Atlanta on October 18th, and I'm going to book my flight today.
Woo-hoo!
I mean, why not? Action. Action.
All right.
All right, kids. It has been so fun this morning. We'll see you next month and have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.